Hello everyone. In last class we discussed about LR0 parser, that is a type of bottom up parser. We discussed the way to generate action and go to table in LR0 parser. Our second parser is SLR parser in bottom up parsing. SLR parser is similar to LR0 parser except that the reduce entries. The reduced production are written only in the follow of the variable whose production is reduced. In LR0 parser, we mention reduce entry in all the cells without considering any first and follow, but in a SLR parser, we define reduce entry only in the cell by using follow for that production rule. Consider this grammar. First we will generate augment grammar by adding one new production rule, E dash goes to E. This is our SLR parser. We generate go to graph in the same way we did in LR0 parsing. We have three production rule before generating augmented production: 1, 2 and 3. In LR0 parser, we mention for first rule reduce entry in all the non-terminals, in all the terminal cell, but in SLR parser we are using for E T for reduction entry we will enter only at the place of follow. For rule number 1, we enter reduce entry in follow of E. For rule number 2, we enter reduce entry in follow of E. And for rule number 3, we enter reduce entry in follow of T. So, how it will change SLR parser? Uh, in this SLR part, LR0 parser, we can have reduce and shift conflict, but in SLR parser we may not have any conflict in the action and go to table because we have less number of reduce entry as compared to LR0 parsing table. This grammar that we used for SLR parser, this grammar is not LR0 but this is SLR1 grammar. SLR0 grammar, because we are having conflict in LR0 parsing table but we will not have any conflict in SLR parsing table. So this grammar is SLR grammar but not LR0 grammar. Second is CLR parser. In the SLR method, we are working with LR0 items. In CLR parsing, we will be using LR1 item. Means we will have one look ahead symbol in CLR parser. LRK items is defined to be an item using look ahead of length k. So the LR1 item is comprised of two parts. First is LR0 item and the look ahead associated with the item. LR1 parser is more powerful parser as compared to LR0 parser, and LR1 item we modify the closure and go to function. For closure function in CLR parser, we add look ahead symbol here. In this closure function, s dash goes to dot s, and follow of s dash is dollar sign. We have non-terminal s after the dot, so we will add production rule of s with this item set. In the production rule of s, we use a. After dot, we have again non-terminal a. Then we will add production rule of a. In s dash goes to dot s, we will add production of s, and to generate the look ahead for this next s symbol, we consider remaining production of the s dash rule. So first of remaining production will be the look ahead for the non-terminal a production. Here there is nothing, so we will copy same look ahead as in the s dash. If we use s goes to dot a, we have a after a. So we will use first of a for the look ahead. First of a will be a and b. So look ahead for a is a and b, a and b. This is how we generate look ahead for CLR parser. In goto operation is same as we did in LR0 parsing. As you can see here, s goes to a dot a. For a, we will apply closure function and add the production of a. We have look ahead a and b. In closure of a, for look ahead, see the remaining production. If nothing remaining, add the previous look ahead. There is nothing after this, so we will add same look ahead symbol a and b in production of a. To generate CLR parse table, we will consider this grammar as goes to a b b a, and as goes to null, and sorry, a goes to null and b goes to null. First we will generate augmented grammar for this grammar and add one new production rule as dash goes to s. Go to graph for this grammar will be look like this. We have look ahead dollar sign for s. We have look ahead for dollar sign for s, and for a we have look ahead a, because after capital A we have small a, and for b we have look ahead small b, because after b we have small b, so it will be look ahead for b. So here we use different look ahead for a and b both. But if we consider this grammar for previous parsing SLR and LR0, there will exist conflict. This grammar is not LR0 grammar or SLR grammar, because in SLR grammar we will consider follow for reduction entries, and follow of A and follow of B will be same A and B. But in CLR parser we are using different look ahead symbol, so there will be no conflict for this parse table. of this parser. So this grammar S goes to A B, B A goes to A, and B goes to B. This grammar is not LR0 grammar. This is also not SLR grammar because there exists conflict, or you can say more than one entries in the parse table. But for CLR parser, there will be no conflict exist. So this is CLR grammar but not LR0 or SLR grammar. Our last bottom-up parser is LALR parser. This is same as CLR parser, but only one difference exists here. In CLR parser, if two states differ only in look ahead, then we combine those states in LALR parser. After minimization, if the parsing table has no conflict, that the grammar is LALR grammar. In the item set of CLR parser, if we are having same production rule but difference in look ahead symbol, then we will add both state in one state, and if there exists no conflict in that new state, that will become our LALR parser. uh, Consider this with an example. Consider this grammar and first generate augmented grammar by adding one new production rule s dash goes to s. This is our LALR parser. In LALR parser, as you can see here, we generated item set mentioned by name I0, I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, I6, I7, I8. As you can see here, I3 and I4 both have same production rule, A goes to B dot and A goes to B dot, but look ahead symbol is different. In I3 we have sorry, in I4 and I7. In I7 we have dollar sign, or in I4 we have A and B, but these production rules are same, so we will combine all these two states 4 and 7. And for and 6 third and 6, same production rule, but look ahead dollar sign and AB, this is different, so we will combine 3 and 6 state and 4 and 7 state. After combining these two states, we will have less number of states in LALR parser as compared to CLR parser. But after combining this state, if we will have conflict more than one entry in our table, then that is not our LALR grammar. So after combining this state in LALR parser, there will be no conflict. So this is our LALR grammar. Some important points to note here. First is, even though CLR parser does not have RR conflict, but LALR may have RR conflict. RR conflict means reduce conflict. It can also happen in CLR parser we are not having any conflict, but in LALR parser you can have some conflict because we combine the state, and after combining that state maybe it will generate some conflict there, so that is not called our LALR grammar. uh, you can also see here N1, N2, N3 are number of state in LR0, SLR, LALR uh, parsing. Number of states we have N1, N2 and N3. In all these three parser we have equal states N1, N2, N3, but in CLR parser we can have equal or greater number of state. It means CLR parser always have equal number of state or greater number of state. You can also see in this diagram LR0 is less powerful parsing, SLR is more powerful than LR0, LALR is more powerful than SLR and LR, and CLR parser is most powerful between all these four parsers. Thank you so much.